Hi, welcome to Glo's Kinder Kitchen, and I'm Glo. Well, today I am going to be sorting and soaking beans overnight for tomorrow because I'm going to be making some pinto beans. And I thought I'd show you how I sort my beans and soak them overnight. And then tomorrow we'll be doing the cooking of the pinto beans. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I personally prefer dry beans over canned beans. I do use canned beans, but with the price of food going up now, I wanted to share this with you, and I am going to be doing 2 cups of dry beans that I'm going to soak overnight. But I wanted to show you this. This is 2 pounds. I got this at Walmart, and they say they're washed on here, but even on the back of the package, they do recommend that you sort your beans and you wash your beans. Never use them just directly out of the package. Because there is some, dirt, there's gravel sometimes that you'll find in it, and also the beans that are broken, you don't want to use those. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with this. So first thing I'm going to do is just cut up off on a diagonal so it's easier to pour out. And I'm going to just use my canning jar here. This is a 2 cup because the amount of beans I'm going to do today is 2 cups. So I'm going to set that over there for right now because we don't need that. And then I take a dish that is a color that is different than my beans. So for example, if I was doing navy beans, I would not select this color of a plate. But anyway, you just kind of want to sort through your beans, and those are okay. And I'm looking for broken ones or any kind of gravel. Here's a broken one right here. See? So I'm going to go ahead and put that in here. And I don't find gravel very often in these, but I have. And when you're cooking, if you ran across or anything that looks a little odd, like that one's definitely a different color than these others, I'm going to go ahead and just toss that. Here's a broken one right here. Here's a broken one. That one looks a little odd, so I'm going to get rid of that. But I'm going to go ahead and continue with sorting these, and I'll be back and I'll show you the next step. Well, I'm done sorting my beans. It doesn't take long at all to do this, but I wanted to show you guys what I found. There, look at that. It's a stone. And look at this. I'm not sure what it is. It's not a stone, but it might be even like a seed or from a different bean. And then the rest of these are pinto beans, but they're broken ones or ones that don't look right. So people that say that you don't need to sort your beans or rinse your beans, the proof is right here. Yes, you do. It's real important. But anyway, the next step we're going to do is I'm going to take these beans and put them in my colander here. And as I'm putting them in the colander, I'm actually looking to make sure that I didn't miss anything. Because when the beans, like right here, there's one that was broken that I didn't see because it was probably, it would have been turned down like that. So I'll put that over there too.
Yep, don't want to bite down on a rock.
No, that'd be a good way to end up going to the dentist. There was another one that was broken. The price of going to the dentist today, it's not worth it. So, here we go. So now what I'm going to do, oh, there's another broken one. I'm going to take this, and I had set this on top of a towel, and the reason I did that is so my dish wouldn't be sliding around on the counter making a bunch of noise. That drives me crazy. So anyway, I'm going to take these over here now, rinse them with cool water. And that's going to remove the dirt and the sediment that's on those beans. Yep, and there's another broken one. And it could have been that it broke when I was stirring them up in here too, but there's another one that broke. And another one. So I'm going to just take the lid here. This goes on top of my large measuring cup, and that's what I'm going to use to soak my beans overnight. So let me move this stuff out of the way, put this here. So now you have your beans all rinsed and sorted and everything. I'm going to go ahead and put them right in here. This is so easy to do. It's just, you know, planning a little bit ahead, but this will certainly be a lot cheaper than buying canned beans at the store. And they taste so much better. You can add whatever kind of seasonings you want to your beans when you're cooking them the next day. And whatever you have left over, you can freeze. Or you can can them. I always just freeze mine in small containers. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this with my lid. There we go. And we're all set to go until tomorrow morning. So these are going to soak overnight, and I'm just going to leave them on my counter. So I'll see you in the morning, and we'll see what we do next. I'm back. I wanted to show you guys what I do with my leftover beans, or if I have leftover flour or rice, anything like that. I try to always store it in an airtight container. So this canning jar is perfect for my leftover pinto beans that I'm not using today. I measured it out, and there are 3 additional cups out of that 2-pound bag. So I did 2, and then there's 3, so there's 5 cups total. But anyway, I have a food saver, and with it you can buy attachments. Like this is for a quart jar. I have one that's for a pint-sized jar, and it vacuum seals. So that just fits on there like that real nicely. And you put this on top here. The other part goes right here. I have it plugged in, and all I have to do is press this down. I don't even have to hold on to it at this point. What it's doing is it's removing all the air that it possibly can out of this canning jar. When it's done, this machine will stop. See?
That was quick.
Yep. Now I'm just going to release it, and you're going to hear it. And we'll see what it looks like. Yep, it's sealed. If this was not sealed, this lid would have popped right off of there during that time. Now, with that being said, I don't use brand new lid jars for stuff like this. If I was canning, definitely I would use a new lid. But for this purpose, this is all I do. And then I'll put my ring on there, my canning ring,
so
to help hold it in place. And then I'll mark the top, what's here, and the date. And then I'll put it in my my cupboard. But it's just a handy little trick, and now these will last longer. So anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Bye. Hi, good morning. Well, I have my beans here, my pinto beans. They have been in the water here overnight on my counter. I'm just going to move this so we can see it. So you can tell that they have swollen up. They've absorbed some of that water. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lift off the top. You can see there's none of those beans floating or anything at the top. And you don't see any residue floating at the top, and that's a good thing. And now what I'm going to do, I put my colander over here in my sink, and I'm going to drain these beans into the colander. the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to rinse them. And I'm rinsing them with cool water, not hot water. There we go. I'm just going to use my top again and put my colander on that so it doesn't drip on my counter. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and rinse this out as well, because I'm going to use this to fill up the water in the crock pot. I've got warm, sudsy water here, so I'm just going to wash this out a little. And I'm going to go ahead and fill this up. This is an 8-cup measuring cup. If you guys don't have one of these, I would recommend getting one. It's been a lifesaver for me. I use it for so many things. I probably use this every day. Oh, it's real handy with that lid, as you can tell. So, I'm going to just move this over here for the moment. I'm going to take my crock pot over here so you guys can see what we're doing. So the next step we're going to do is we're just going to pour these pinto beans right into the crock pot. I'm going to move this over so we have more room. Dry my hands. So the way I do pinto beans, and there's many ways to do it, I always add garlic to mine. This is 1 large clove of garlic, and I just peeled it and mashed it with my mallet. When I scrape on the back side of my knife, never my blade. If you do it on the blade, it will dull your blade. Here's 1 onion, and I just cut this up in, not huge pieces, but not small pieces either. I'm going to add that. And I put in 2 tablespoons of chili powder. And then 1 heaping tablespoon of cumin. Cumin just gives it a really nice earthy flavor, and the chili powder is going to give it more of a spicy flavor, but the 2 in combination are excellent. And then I use salt pork. You can buy it in 1 large piece, you can buy it sliced. I prefer to buy it sliced because then I'm not having to deal with, oh geez, should I, how much of that should I cut off? Because this comes in slices, and when I buy this, I take the slices and individually wrap them in saran wrap, and then I freeze them in a freezer bag. Works perfect, because then you can take out the amount that you need. For this particular dish, I'm going to use 3 slices. And again, it's called salt pork. And when you use salt pork, you don't want to add any additional salt. It has plenty. So now we're going to put in the water. You want to cover your beans at least 1 inch. I'm going to put a little bit more because I'm going to be gone all day, and I just want to make sure that I'll probably put an additional 1 or 2 cups. The main thing is you want your beans to be covered the whole time with water. There we go. Now I'm just going to take a spoon. I'm just going to kind of stir this. By doing that, I'm getting those spices in there, the cumin and the chili powder. And of course the onions and garlic and stuff. That's all there is to it. Then you're going to take this and you're going to turn it on. And I'm going to do this to have it go all day long. So it's going to be on 10 hours. See? Everybody's, crock pot's a little different. But this is going to cook on low for 10 hours. When I come back home tonight, this should be ready to go. I could use the pinto beans right then for dinner and add different, spices to it, or vegetables like green onions and tomatoes and onions as toppers. But anyway, we'll decide that when I get home tonight, what we're going to do. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you tonight. Hi. Well, it's the end of the day. I'm back home from work, and now it's time to take a look at our beans. Oh, that smells really good. It was nice to come home tonight and have the smell of the pinto beans going. So let's see what they look like. Look at that.
Looks good, Miss Clove.
That looks so yummy, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to sample it to see if we're going to need additional salt. If you recall, I didn't put any salt in this because I had put the 3 slices of salt pork in it. And I probably do need to add some salt, but we'll sample it and see. I do. But it's better to be safe than sorry, because you can't take that salt out. So I'm going to start off with about a teaspoon. We'll see what it's like. Might need to add more. And I do need to share with you that after we had stopped, doing it today, this morning, I realized I hadn't put my bay leaf in. So there is a bay leaf in here as well. We don't really need that onion in there. I would say just a little bit more. This is a big pot of beans, so I'm doing another teaspoon. But no more, because we got to remember too, at least we put some cheese on it. So you don't want too much salt going on. So let me taste this and see. Perfect. That is really good. So, excuse me, I'm just getting a drink of water after that. So, with this pot of beans, there's many things you can do with it. If I wanted to, I could refry these beans. I'm not going to do that tonight. I'll show you that though in another video, because that takes about an additional hour after you've cooked your beans. And there's so many ways you can cook your beans. You could cook these on top of the stove. You could do them in a pressure cooker. And you don't have to soak your beans overnight if you don't want to. But with that being said, this would have taken a little longer to cook today, and as you could tell this morning, it was just so easy to put together before I left for work. So now I'm just going to go ahead and put some of these in this bowl. And I'm actually going to save some of this broth if I have any left to use for other dishes, other recipes. So I'm going to move this over to the side so you guys can see what's going on. And in this pan here, we're actually cooking some Spanish rice. So it's the burner's off now and it's steaming. But if you're interested in knowing how to cook some Spanish rice, it's very easy and delicious. You can look at that video as well. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just garnish this. I have some green onion. Where's my cheese? Oh, let me get my cheese too. Don't want to forget that. And this is a mixture of sharp cheddar, and Monterey Jack. Put a little bit more. But you can garnish this any way you want. And these are some of the cherry tomatoes. And I took a jalapeno and I cut it up in small pieces. This is one that's kind of hot, so and what you do for that is you cut the stem off, and on the inside there's like the seeds are in there, and there's some white veins that go through it as well. This is half of it, and this is the other half. You want to remove the veins and the seeds. If you leave some of those seeds in there and you like a lot of heat, by all means do it. But I would sample the jalapeno first because some of them are hotter than others. This one definitely has a kick to it. And of course cilantro. And not everybody likes cilantro. Some people think it tastes like soap. We love it. I love the smell of it. In fact, I was going to show you how I store my cilantro when I buy it. I just take a canning jar, fill it up about halfway to 3/4 with water, and I just stick the stems right down in there, right in the water. Change out your water every couple of days. I keep it in the refrigerator, and in the produce bag that I bring home, I just put over the top like that. And that's how I store it in the refrigerator. I do the same thing with my parsley. I just thought I'd show you that little trick. So anyway, I'm going to try this. Been thinking about this today at work. This is so flavorful. So good. You can taste the cumin in there, the chili powder, jalapenos. Oh. And these pinto beans, they are very creamy. This is a very nutritious dish, and it's economical. I wish you were here to try this with us. It is just delicious. If you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. Give me a comment and a thumbs up and share with your friends. I'll talk to you later. Bye.